It's clear. I would just thought I would jump on here. I'm procrastinating picking up the apartment. I know, you're shocked. But I also wanted to share. I was like, really want to make a video. I really want to share stuff, but like, what should I share? And so a while ago, the first therapist that I ever worked with suggested I make a list of affirmations and read them out loud every day. And have I kept up with that? No. But why not just read a couple to you and a couple new ones that I've just had in my head recently. I would say the biggest one on here, oh gosh, there's what? 10, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 10. Oh, one of the so sometimes these affirmations evolve. So an example of that is I give myself more time than I think is necessary to complete my homework and like education, school assignments and stuff. But I would say that's kind of shifted to I give myself more time than I think is necessary to like get places or do household tasks or even like write an email, because sometimes I'll write a draft with like the first emotions that come to my brain, and then I have to like think about how the other person will read it, like, maybe this is a little rough around the edges. Maybe we can like tidy this up and make it a little more friendly, still getting the point across but not being so abrasive. Let's see. I would say this is a good one. I'm not perfect, but I can always learn from school and from my own experiences. I would change this one to say I am not perfect, and something I've been working on recently is replacing but with and, or just other words besides but. I'm not perfect, because the two things are happening at the same time, like, and that's totally possible, and that's okay. I'm not perfect, true, and this is another truth. I can always learn from school and from my own experiences. School meaning like college. I wrote this when I was like in college, which really wasn't that long ago because I graduated 2022, and that's another thing. There's this whole myth of like when the timeline should be to like do things like get a house, have kids, whatever. And so the typical timeline for the schooling that I went to is like a 4-year school. However, I took about 9 years, and I used to say that with even more of a grimace on my face, but now I'm learning like, hey, my brain is different. I'm a neurodivergent person, and giving myself that space and time and patience to learn how I study, how best I absorb information. And I am a learner that gets excited by like new and interesting and fun things versus just like important things. Although I know important things. So a lot of times I will gamify things. I know I hear these like ADHD hacks and I cringe because I'm like, well, I've tried all these and they haven't worked, so what else have you got? But there is, I guess some of them do work, and gamifying is like, okay, I get to do this like 10 minutes of like coloring or half an hour or like 2 hours of YouTube if I complete this like task that's been like haunting me for forever. And it's hard because my head knows it's a trick, but I'm like, okay, you're gonna feel better when it's done. I know you have to like talk to yourself like you are your own parent, which, ugh. But you know what? Do what you gotta do, right? Yeah. So this is how it usually goes. Whenever I talk to someone or I have this like big plan of what I'm gonna say, and then there's just all these rabbit trails that happen. But you know what? That's another beautiful part of my head and my brain. And just who I am. Another one is I'm allowed to say no to spending time with or doing favors for others. I think a lot of times, especially as a female, uh, like people kind of expect you to have this servant heart, which I'm not saying it's not important to like help others, but if you're always helping others and never leaving time for yourself, and sometimes if you say you're busy and you can't do it, you don't even have to have like an event. You can just say I'm busy, and your busy can look different than someone else's busy. Someone else's busy might be like having to go to like 3 different stores to get groceries, and then picking up something from the specialty shop or whatever. My busy sometimes looks like I'm gonna give myself the afternoon to do puzzles and binge Netflix. So it doesn't have to be this big crazy busyness, or that the typical thing you think of. Okay, I'm trying to make this under 10 minutes, but I can't make any promises. I'm probably not going to go through every single one just because I don't think they all apply. Ooh, this is a good one. This is kind of one that I cringe at, but only because I hate how much it's true. I don't know actually how much I believe this anymore, but it says, I'm in control of my thoughts and I have the power to change them. I don't necessarily know if I'm in charge of my thoughts. I mean, sometimes thoughts just come to me that I don't expect, but I do have the power to write them down, and or like, hey, I'm going to think about this thing I had in my head later. Right now I have to focus on this. Or this is a very upsetting thought. Let me write it down. Something I've been trying to remember is to bring something. I know you're so surprised at this catacorn journal that I have, but to bring something with me everywhere, to write stuff down, ideas, thoughts, just doodles, because a lot of times I have to sit through something. Having somewhere to doodle is good. And if different colored pens are involved, even better. If stickers are involved, that's the best situation, you know? And I'm able, if my hands are busy doing something, it's easier for my brain to focus on what is being shared. And yeah, it's a good thing. Rabbit hole again. I'm going to share with you something I got at Dollar Tree that I absolutely love. And this is not the fanciest black cat pillow that I own, but it is my favorite right now because the eyes, I don't know if you can kind of tell in the camera, but they're like shiny and rainbowy. And I don't really think that this has a mouth, but it does have little ears. And so it's not the cutest, most like adorable kawaii. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Kawaii cat look. If I'm not saying that right, and you know how to say it, feel free to jump in. I have some other books I got from the library that I really want to read and either put on my TikTok or my YouTube, but they are in the car, and the motivation I have tonight is lacking. So I figure, you know what, maybe I'm trying to get better at like breaking things up into tasks. Like I'll work on this area of the house today, and tomorrow morning I'll work on the car, and maybe a different day I'll tackle the bathroom. And a lot of times it's not even like making it like spick and span, like spotless. A lot of times it's like, okay, all of these things go in this area. So it's not like I have to live in a home that looks unlived in. It's just like, it's easier if I have things that go back to where they belong. Shout out to Casey Davis, who is Domestic Blisters on TikTok. She's awesome. The compassion she has. I do have her book, How to Keep House While Drowning. I have not gotten the updated copy because I don't have it. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah. So anyway, I appreciate your tuning in. to however exciting or boring this may be. But you know what? It is what it is. Also, another fidget I can show off. The pink one that I showed off in the last video, it kind of got grimy and slimy after a while. And I don't know if this one will too, because it's from Dollar Tree. And it's very fun, but a lot of times these stretchy ones just don't stand up to a lot of, you know, like messing around. And a lot of times, like, I don't know if this material is, but I'm afraid if I put it in my purse, it'll like pick up like lint and crumbs and stuff. So a lot of times I just like to keep things like this like on the little bedside table. Also, these little things, like tiny items. This is from Dollar Tree. Did I need it? Absolutely not. Is it adorable? Absolutely it is. And then this one I got from Five Below. And it's just a teeny tiny squishmallow. And it came in like a surprise pack, so you didn't know which one you were going to get. Which, I mean, that's even more dopamine. So, I mean, it's hard to say no to that kind of stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, life is pretty good. It's not maybe where I want it to be all the time, but it could be a lot worse. So I'm thankful. Thanks for being here and watching my stuff. You know, until I go viral, which may or may not ever happen. Probably ever, not ever. But in the meantime, it's fun just to make these little fun videos and show off little trinkets and things I have around the house, things I've been thinking about, all that kind of stuff. It's just good fun and helps me have like an outlet to just say everything. So